People don't seem to get that point. You have any idea why, Charlie?
Warren, if people weren't so often wrong, we wouldn't be so rich.
No.
I don't think there are good arguments against my position. I think the people that oppose my position are idiots.
Charlie and I were on a plane recently that was hijacked.
With what?
It was hijacked. I'm telling you about our experience on that hijacked plane when the hijackers picked us out as the two dirty capitalists that they really had to execute. But they were a little abashed about it. They didn't really have anything against us. So they said that each of us would be given one request before they shot us. And they turned to Charlie and they said, "What would you like as your request?" Charlie said, "I would like to give once more my speech on the virtues of Costco with illustrations." And the hijacker said, "Well, that sounds pretty reasonable to me." And he turned to me and said, "And what would you like, Mr. Buffett?" And I said, "Shoot me first."
But those of you who are about to enter business school or who are there, I recommend you learn to do it our way, but at least until you're out of school, you have to pretend to do it their way.
And the people who invented this crypto crapo, it's just ridiculous that anybody would buy this stuff. It isn't even slightly stupid. It's massively stupid.
Yeah, it's not that much fun to buy a business where you really hope this sucker liquidates before it goes broke.
I like cryptocurrencies a lot less than you do. To me, it's just dementia. Professional traders that go into trading cryptocurrencies, it's just disgusting. It's like somebody else is trading turds and you decide I can't be left out.
I don't think there are good arguments against my position. I think the people that oppose my position are idiots.
So, no, I'm optimistic about life. If I can be optimistic when I'm nearly dead, surely the rest of you can handle a little inflation. And of course, that's the other advice. The best way to get what you want in life is to deserve what you want. How could it be otherwise? It's not crazy enough so that the world is looking for a lot of undeserving people to reward. A director getting $150,000 a year from a company who needs it is not an independent director.
They're looking for chihuahuas and not Great Danes. Yeah. And I hope I'm not insulting any of my friends that are on comp committees.
You're insulting the dogs.
No.
Everybody wants fiscal virtue, but not quite yet. They're like that guy who felt that way about sex. He was willing to give it up, but not quite yet. Well, you don't want to be like the motion picture executive in California, and they said the funeral was so large because everybody wanted to make sure he was dead. It was investment banker aided fraud. Now, not exactly novel.
That does not mean we approve of every buyback at all, though. I mean, we've seen...
No.
Yeah.
I think some people just buy it to keep the stock up. And that, of course, is insane and immoral. But apart from that, it's fine. And yet it's perfectly obvious, at least to me, that to say that derivative accounting in America is a sewer is an insult to sewage.
I've listened to so many nonsensical cost of capital discussions that...
I've never heard an intelligent one.
Yeah. Charlie's big on lowering expectations.
Absolutely. That's the way I got married. My wife lowered her expectations. Sure, there are a lot of things in life way more important than wealth. All that said, some people do get confused. I play golf with a man, he says, "What good is health? You can't buy money with it." Well, there are a whole lot of things I don't think about. And one of them is companies that are losing $2 or $3 billion a year and going public. I figured out why the teachers of corporate finance often teach a lot of stuff that's wrong. When I had some eye troubles very early in life, I consulted a very famous eye doctor. And I realized that his place of business was doing a totally obsolete cataract operation. They were still cutting with a knife after better procedures had been invented. And I said, "Why are you in a great medical school performing absolute obsolete operations?" He said, "Charlie, it's such a wonderful operation to teach."
Well, that's what happens in corporate finance. They get these formulas, and it's a fine teaching experience. You give them a formula, you present the problem, they use the formula. You get a real feeling of worthwhile activity. There's only one trouble, it's all balderdash.
Yeah, whenever you hear a theory described as elegant, watch out.
Right.
People
And
might
in
want you to-
accounting, you can do things like they do in Italy when they have trouble with the mail. It piles up and irritates the postal employees. They just throw away a few carloads, and then everything
We're
flows
naming
smoothly
names again,
thereafter.
folks. That happened in some unnamed international country.
Yeah, Italy. The general system for money management requires people to pretend that they can do something that they can't do and to pretend to like it when they really don't. I think that's a terrible way to spend your life, but it's very well paid.
You are mixing something which is wretched and irrational and has bad consequences with something that has very good consequences. But if you mix raisins with turds, they're still turds.
That's why they have me write the annual report.
Well, I can't give you a formulaic approach because I don't use one. If you want a formula, you should go back to graduate school. They'll give you lots of formulas that won't work. As Samuel Johnson said famously, I can give you an argument, but I can't give you an understanding. It's extraordinary how resistant some people are to learning anything.
He
The answer
volunteered.
is no, the board at Lubrizol did not breach its duty because we were not going to participate in the transaction if they didn't do it our way. Has anybody else got an easy question? It's not that great a business as a business, casualty insurance. It's a tough game. There are temptations to be stupid in it. It's like banking. But competency is a relative concept. And what a lot of us need, including the one speaking, what I needed to get ahead was to compete against idiots. And luckily, there's a large supply. And I don't like multitasking. I see these people doing three things at once, and I think, God, what a terrible way that is to think. Warren reminds me, once I asked a man who just left a large investment bank, and I said, how does your firm make its money? He said, off the top, off the bottom, off both sides, and in the middle. Well, I would rather throw a viper down my shirt front than hire a compensation consultant. I think I've offended enough people.
Right. There's two or three in the balcony.